Welcome everybody to Big Case World. Today we have the author Dan, is it pronounced Filion? Filion?
Filion, yes.
Filion. Dan Filion. He is a up and coming author. He has a book coming out. So if you want to tell about your book a little bit and when you actually started writing, when did the idea come up to write this book?
Sure. So my entire life, I can't remember not having Oz in it. As a child, I was always obsessed with Oz. The books, the movies, the cartoons, the toys, everything. And even growing up and becoming an adult, it never left. So in the past couple of years, I would say, I have found a strong interest in reading. And I give credit to Fourth Wing. Fourth Wing is what really got me and many others into reading. And as I was getting into the genre, I really started to realize that I would love to see something like this, like Fourth Wing, but in the Oz world. Because for me, the land of Oz has always been this huge magical land, not just this small thing that you see in the movie. I always saw it kind of like Lord of the Rings, like the Middle Earth, how beautiful that is. So it just came to me, you know what? If it doesn't exist right now, let me write it. I've always had small little plot ideas of what I would want in my, let's say, ideal adaptation. So Fourth Wing is what really started all of this for me. And then I dipped my toes in the world of writing, which I never thought I would do. So this became a serious idea, I would say December of last year. And it turned into Galeborn, which is my debut novel. I'm so proud of it. It comes out on June 29th. So this is release month, which also is wild to say. But it's an Oz-inspired romantasy. So I like to say if it was Fourth Wing meets Akatar meets Wizard of Oz, that kind of story. And it asks the question, what would happen if Dorothy's granddaughter was called to the land of Oz? So the idea was always kind of floating in my head. And
Mhm.
December is when I put the words to paper or words to screen. And it just developed into this story that I'm so proud of and so excited to share with the world, taking inspiration from my life's obsession with Oz and all of these wonderful books that exist now.
Right?
Yeah.
That sounds amazing. When did the movie give you an actual impact? When you first saw it, or was it just something that you saw with your family?
Yeah. I can't say that it was with my parents. Excuse me. My first memory was watching the Judy Garland movie with my grandmother. My grandma was very much into what I liked, and she would see that I would have certain obsessions, and she would, in a way, feed into them because she knew how much they meant to me. So The Wizard of Oz was something that I remember we used to go to the video store when I would go for a sleepover. We would rent it and we would watch it on VHS often. And I don't know what was going on at the time, but I think they were celebrating some kind of anniversary of the movie. So there was lots of toys coming out, lots of different books. And at an early age, I got to understand that Oz is not just Judy Garland. There's a whole thing behind it. And I gravitated towards it. A lot of people will connect with the Judy Garland movie and think that that's Oz, that's where it ends. And that's great. But I knew very early that there was way more to it. And I can't even remember what that age was because Oz was always in my life. So I don't know, 7, maybe 8 years old, we watched it and it would become a reoccurring thing. It was Wizard of Oz. And then when I was a little older, it turned into Return to Oz. Then we would do that one every weekend. So it's an interesting little thing,
Mhm.
but I don't
What did
remember
you
my life without Oz.
it's such an impact. Like,
Yeah.
uh, I started getting into musicals. Well, Wizard of Oz was always on TV. You click
Yes.
on TBS, and that's that certain day of the year that's just Oz 24/7. So I've sat down and watched Oz a handful of times, but every time I watch, it's like, huh, I never seen that before. There's always something new going on that you don't really pay attention to.
Yep.
And then you got the whole like conspiracy theories about Oz and all the stuff and um but things that you really love to make an impact. So fast forward all these years later, was
Yeah.
it so this idea of the book, was it always lingering in the back after you like watched Oz, or was it something that you thought about like, all right, so Oz came out, Wicked, the musical's out, Wicked movies are out. Maybe I should try to dip my foot into this whole universe that's been created.
That's a really good question. And I think there is a lot of that answer being Wicked. Wicked kind of gave me the, oh, you know what? Oz is becoming much more relevant again. Maybe now's the time to dip your dip your fingers, not dip your fingers, dip your feet, dip your whatever in that world and see what you can do. It kind of gave me a, okay, Dan, this is your time. People are listening.
Hmm.
That it's interesting how that worked. I have had the idea of doing something with Dorothy's family. That has been in my head for years, not knowing exactly what, but I knew I wanted to see something like that. And when I first started to think about that, it wasn't necessarily what can I write? It was more, how can I find that? Who is going to write that? But in the recent years, especially when Fourth Wing, it wasn't Fourth Wing that was popular at the time. It was the release of Onyx Storm. I had never read Fourth Wing, but because of that book, I bought all three. So at that time, I really started to explore in my mind what could Oz look like in the world of Fourth Wing. So Onyx Storm is what, a year old now, a little old, a little more than that? Year?
Yeah, about a year old. Yeah,
A year, yeah. So I started playing with the idea. And then in December, I remember during Christmas break, that was the moment I can try writing a book. Let's see what we can do. And I remember my first step being what my ideas, throw them in a Word document, just throw them in there. And the more I would do that, the more I just felt there's something here, something that others would appreciate, something that I want is on this screen. And I kind of just kept going. And the moment that first draft was done, I knew, you know what? Maybe I'm an okay writer. Maybe I can do this. And at that moment, that's also when TikTok was getting very popular. It didn't start getting popular, but booktok was like everywhere. And the sprayed edges, that was becoming a real thing in January. So I decided to join booktok because I knew eventually I'll want to talk about my book. But booktok became so much more than just I'm going on there to get my book out there. I found community, I found inspiration, I found other people like me, I found readers like me, writers like me. And that really pushed me to keep going, get to that finish line. And now I am at the finish line. We're very close. And I can look back and just look at that journey, which a lot of it was documented on TikTok, which is fun. So I don't know if that answers your question. I think I answered like this, but
it's
the answer
fine.
is somewhere.
Totally fine. Uh, so explain who the main character is.
Yes.
How did
So
she get into Oz, or was there not revealing too much of the book because it's not even out yet? But
Yeah. No, I can definitely tell you her name is Eliza Gale. What right off the bat, something that I thought was important to do with this book because we're so used to seeing teenagers or young adults looking, who are they? What do they do in life? What are they meant to do? That kind of stuff. Adults also feel that. It's not just a young people thing. So my character is an adult. Her name is Eliza Gale. She is the granddaughter of Dorothy Gale. So in the little town that she lives in Kansas, she is kind of like referred to as the one who has someone kind of cuckoo in her family.
Hmm.
So she has lived, and she is living a lonely life. She is working at a retirement home, and she just lost her grandmother, she was really close to. This grandmother being Dorothy. So Dorothy is not in my book. She's sadly passed away, but the ties to Dorothy are there throughout the entire story. So Eliza, one night she goes home from work and realizes that there's something different in the air, hearing whispers of her name, the storm clouds starting to come, they're weirdly colored and very reminiscent to how Dorothy came to Oz. A storm hits where she is, and that sends her to Oz in a completely new location, something that we have not seen in The Wizard of Oz. Um, and she goes on this self-discovery journey, basically, to figure out who she is. And she realizes soon after getting into Oz that the land has been looking for her. The land has been calling for her because there's something in her bloodline that they want, the Gale bloodline. So she goes on this journey to figure this out. She meets a lovely love interest whose name is Kalis. He is the commander of the Watch, which is kind of like a protector of Oz. And they go on a journey to figure this out. Why does everybody know her? He doesn't even know her, or he knows of her, but doesn't know why. So they go on this journey to try to figure this out. They go through locations that we know from The Wizard of Oz. They go to locations that are brand new. They meet old characters, new characters, all in the hopes of finding out exactly who she is and finding that piece that she feels has been missing in her life. And this kind of confirms it. There was something missing in her life. A part of her was void, and she hopefully will find out what that is through her adventures in the land of Oz.
That's awesome. I like how you incorporate things from Oz, but yeah, it's our own story.
Yeah.
Because in the we don't really hear about Dorothy. Well, from what I've watched between movies and Wicked and stuff, we don't actually hear about Dorothy again. She flies up into the clouds with the wizard, and that's it. That's it. That's
Yeah.
that. Everything's been left behind.
She is featured quite a bit in the original Oz books, but it's in a different light. It's very much Dorothy is present and she goes on different adventures, but you don't really get to know her as a little girl. You don't get to see how Oz affected her. L. Frank Baum, who is the original writer of the books, was very good at creating these characters, this world that the baseline descriptions are there, but they're left open for so many others to interpret in their own way. So for me, I kind of decided, because I could have written my book after the 14 books,
Hmm.
but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to create something that kind of stems from Dorothy after her trip to Oz. Her trip happened, she didn't go back, but now someone in her family does. So you get to see Oz through someone else's eyes. Now, what I did that I liked is what happened in the 14 books. A lot of those things happened with Dorothy. I removed her from the equation. So all of the events took place in my story already, apart from Dorothy. So I do try to touch on those events a little bit, but Yeah, I didn't want to. First of all, I don't want to follow 14 amazing books. There's no way of doing
I
that.
didn't I didn't know there was 14 books.
And that's
Oh,
just Alfred Baum. There's a lot of people who have continued on.
yeah.
It's wonderful. It really is. So for me, I just kept going after The Wizard of Oz. So it's kind of like a sequel to the movie
Hmm.
once Dorothy has passed on from old age. And
Hmm.
every adventure in his books has happened without her. So now Eliza going to Oz, she gets to hear about some of those adventures that have happened post Wizard of Oz and sees how those events have impacted the world. One of them being, I won't say too much, but there's currently a ruler of Oz. And this person is featured in the Oz books. I thought it was very important to incorporate them. But
Yeah.
Eliza or Dorothy would not have known or doesn't know who this person is because she went to Kansas before they were crowned.
Oh, wow. You learn new things every day. I didn't even know that. I thought it was just the wizard, Dorothy, the lion, the scarecrow, the tin man, and that's it. But now that there's more to it, I gotta really do my research. My due
Yeah.
diligence.
And that was another thing that I wanted to do with TikTok is share my obsession with the world, get other people to see how beautiful this property is.
Hmm.
And so far, the people who have been exposed to it are loving it. And there, a lot of people are like you, are shocked to know that it's way more than just this like small squared TV sets
Hmm.
for the Judy Garland movie. There's so much more to it. And Wicked has definitely helped with that. It's opening a lot of people's eyes, but there's still more to dive into.
Yeah. So, how long did it take you to write the whole story from beginning to like doing editing and to this final product that we're gonna see at the end of the month?
Yeah. So Christmas of 2025, and I sent my book to my editor on the 18th of May. So I think I was able to do it a little quicker than most authors because the plot has always just kind of been floating in my head.
Right.
So it was more just putting it down on paper. But I would say, yeah, from December to May. And I'm hopefully going to be getting it back from my editor on Friday. And
Mhm.
then, depending on what she suggests, I might go back and do another round of editing. And then at that point, we're done. And then I can start on book two, which I'm really excited about.
All right.
But it's
So
been a
which
fun process.
that's amazing. So which part of the editing process is your favorite?
Oof. Editing is a lot of work.
Yeah.
Bow down to authors, let me tell you. But I really, really loved the beta reading
Yeah.
part. It is technically editing where I got to share my book with a few people and have them read it, see how they feel about the story, and take their suggestions. I think that was the most gratifying part and the most fun part. I think it was very interesting to see all these people. I had about 8 people read it, and none of them
Yeah.
knew much about the Wizard of Oz. So it was really nice to hear what they thought, because one of the biggest things I wanted to do with this book is if you're interested in reading my book, I don't want you to think that you have to read all of the other Oz books. I
Right.
wanted to make sure to explain as much as I could to a new reader. So that
Mhm.
feedback was huge to get from my beta readers. So I think that that was like a full circle moment to me. I have a product that I've been talking about for so long. Here it
Yeah.
is. What do you think? It's kind of like proof in the pudding. This is what I've been talking about. What do you think? That
Right.
was a surreal moment and very scary because it was with me for a long time.
I mean, now you have people reading the stuff that you've been thinking about for quite some time.
Yeah,
It's it's yeah, it's at first, well, now I'm more comfortable. But at first doing this with my first guest is like, God,
I
I hope it
bet.
doesn't flop. I hope it doesn't
No.
flop.
And even if it does, right?
Yeah,
This is for you. Doesn't
exactly.
matter. Although I don't think it's going to flop. Just saying.
No.
No, you're very good. You're very good at being calm, making me feel calm because I'm nervous. Hello.
I have a pen in my hand, just fidgeting with it. So
Oh,
it's
perfect. No one will ever know.
so so is this going to be a trilogy, a duology, or are you looking for like more than just three books?
So, The Gale Legacy is the name of the series. Right now, in my head, it sounds like a beautiful trilogy. I
Mhm.
think I'm able to tell my story in 3 books. What will happen after those 3 books? I don't know. I don't think I would be one of those authors that releases a trilogy and then whoopsie surprise, here's book 4. I don't think I would do that, but I don't I don't dislike the idea of either doing novellas
Mhm.
or maybe a side like not a prequel but a spin-off that
Spin-off.
yeah, maybe it focuses on someone else in Oz in an area that we've never heard of. So I definitely have ideas. I Part of me wants to stay in the world of Oz because that's what I know and I think there's so many more stories to be told.
Mhm.
But there's another part of me that's interested in looking at other fairy tales and seeing how I can do a retelling there. So I'm thinking Peter Pan, Alice in Wonderland, Narnia was something that I've been playing around in my head too. Can
Yeah.
something be done with those properties? So not too sure, but I'm open. I'm excited at what the possibilities are.
All right. And with your book coming out, well, in the future, would you consider doing like sprayed edges and all the fun things? Have you had like
That is
ideas?
my biggest dream. I would love to. So the answer is yes, and it is going to happen. The how is a massive question mark, but there are ways. If anything, at the bare minimum, I would do most likely something on, is it Patreon? No, I'm think there's another service. No,
There's
or-
Kickstarter,
that's the one.
Patreon, Kickstarter.
Kickstarter or Patreon. Yeah. Where people can contribute and then I could afford to get it done. Because I'm indie, I can't just say I want all my books sprayed. I have to get them sprayed one by one and you pay for each. But as the technology improves, I think there's a way. Like right now, I'm only having paperback coming out on June 29th. My next step will be sprayed edge, or not sprayed edge, sorry, hardcover. And at that point, next would be sprayed edge. But I have to do a lot of playing around. I am not an artist. I don't see myself doing it, but I'm open. We'll see. I like your background as an
Yeah.
example. I would love that as a sprayed edge.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think it would fit. It would be something so beautiful, or even your background divided in 3 and my 3 books would have it. You put them together, it matches. Like, come on. That would be amazing. So we'll
So
see.
the cover of the book, which I love very
Yeah.
much, what came up with that idea, having the necklace and the emerald, emerald for Emerald City, and then you have the castles in the back. So what gave you the idea to
Yeah.
go with that aesthetic?
So that aesthetic, originally, funny enough, my cover was full blown a yellow brick road because to me, that was Oz and I thought it would be recognizable for people, which
Mhm.
it would be, but my story doesn't really focus on the emeralds or on the yellow brick road at all. What does it focus on? It focuses on a pendant that was given to Eliza by Dorothy. Dorothy received it from Glinda on her first trip to Oz, and there's a reason for it. There's a huge part in the book about this, and mix the pendant with wind, which is what you're seeing around it.
Mm-hmm.
It lives and breathes basically. So can't go into it too much, but there's a huge focus on the pendant. Emerald City, I just thought it would make sense. That kind of
Right.
symbolizes Oz. And the addition of the flowers around the poppies, that
Oh, I
was
didn't.
purely
Okay.
the artist, Tokororo Art. He did a
Hmm.
phenomenal job. So this, once you read the story, you'll see why the pendant is on the cover. It plays a massive part.
Oh, wow.
So that was my idea. He came up with a couple mock-ups, and
Hmm.
each time I was like floored. It's incredible when you talk to someone with that much talent and they can turn around and turn it into something like this. And I can also show some of the or a piece of character art that he did. Um, can I show it?
Yeah, yeah, go
Yeah, okay.
for it.
So these are the two characters, and
Oh,
I
wow.
basically sent him that part in my book, and he drew it. And this is what he came up with.
That's
So this is
awesome.
Eliza and Kalis, and
Mhm.
the pendant, you can probably see it. She's wearing
Oh,
it.
yeah, right there. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little blurry, whoop. But this was also another big moment. These are my characters that he put on paper. Crazy. Such a beautiful, beautiful thing.
It is.
And he was also able to draw the
Oh,
map
the
of the
map.
land of Oz. That's
Hmm.
going to be in the book as well. After having a few conversations with him, not that many, but a few, he really understood what I was going for. So now, anytime he sends me something back, I know I'm going to love it. Like as an example, he gave me files
That's
so I can
cool.
make stickers. So
Yeah,
he knew the things that are most important for me to make those stickers. So now I
that's
have
awesome.
stickers, and he is currently working on bookmarks so I
Hmm.
can get them printed. And these bookmarks, they're going to be character specific. So we're looking at
Hmm.
4 different ones. And I kind of wanted them to be treated like Pokemon cards in a way. You know, you want one for each character. And then once the second book comes out, there's going to be another four. It's like a collect them all kind of thing.
Hmm.
So I'm really excited to see what he comes up with for those.
Wow, that's amazing. So are you gonna include those with the purchase of the book, or how are you just gonna like include them in the book, like a part of the page, or how are you gonna do that?
I'm still playing around with that. Right now, I'm working on PR boxes, promotional boxes that
Okay.
will be sent to influencers, to Oz influencers. Um, but I order many more of each item. So either I sell some of those PR boxes on my website, or I sell the items individually, or I just throw in a bookmark for every purchase, or all of the above. I don't know yet, but I'm thinking it would be pretty sweet to include something with the book, especially for the pre-orders.
Right.
So we'll see.
I
It's
think
very
people,
exciting, I will say. But you just gave me an idea for the people that have pre-ordered. It would
yeah,
be pretty cool if they could get also a signed bookmark. I also have these little book charms that someone on booktok was able to make for me.
that's
Like,
awesome.
yeah, it's very surreal and it feels real now. Like this is
Yeah.
actually happening.
They're gonna going to love your book. They are going
I
to.
really hope so.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you to
Um,
read it. I'm going to have to
I
send you a
yeah,
copy.
I would love that.
Yes,
Definitely love that. So that's your bookcase, I am assuming.
that's one of them. Yes.
One of them. Great.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So I've been asking a couple of book talkers and authors of how many books they currently have. So right now, top is 1,700. And that's from Jenny Thrifty Reads. Yes,
Oh
1,700.
my.
Yeah.
I haven't counted, but it's definitely increased since getting on booktok. That's a whole other interview. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
I would say maybe two. Hmm, hold on. I have two big bookshelves that you can't see here, but they're pretty much
yeah.
full. And then this one, 200, 250 max.
250.
It's really not that bad considering. I would say
Yeah,
250.
yeah. So her handle's Jenny Thrifty Read. So she goes thrifting for books. Wherever she get a
Smart.
deal on books, she'll grab them. And yeah, she has quite a few.
I keep hearing that thrifting is the way to go.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for a new sprayed edge, a new special edition,
I mean,
reprints.
it's an investment. Like I'm just looking at my Sable Sorensen's Dire and Fury Bound, and I got them from
Yeah,
Target, and it's so beautifully made.
I
And
know.
I don't want to open it up and read them. It's so nice. I should have got myself a paperback, but
Yeah. And Target is really, really good with their special editions.
hmm
I have to say, we obviously don't have Target in Canada, but
yeah.
I find a way to get them. I can't not get them. It's it's stronger than me. It really is.
There's was it? Yeah, you signed up for a Fairy Loot, right?
I am on the wait list. I've been on the wait list since March,
Mhm.
but they sent me an email last week saying, "Hey, just so you know, we didn't forget about you. Your turn is soon." So, fingers crossed.
Lexine, I don't know if you follow Lexine. She's also another book talker.
Seems familiar. I
Yeah.
think so.
So she signed up for Fairy Loot and she showed me one of her books and they were highly like they looked very beautiful.
Yep.
Like a little bit better than the ones from Target.
Absolutely. Some of those subscription boxes definitely have better ones. Fairy Loot, I do have to say they're the top. I also think they're the most popular. That's why the waiting list is so long. But yeah, every time I see something from Fairy Loot, the last one I saw was Starside by Alex Astor. It came out in Fairy Loot and it's gorgeous, absolutely stunning. But because I'm not a member, I can't get it unless I go on places like eBay and pay three times the price,
Oh,
which I don't really want to do when I already have her six other versions of the book. I have to be smart a little bit.
six other versions.
Yeah.
So is that the only one they have six other versions of, or do you have other versions of other books?
Starside is my top one. There's regular, deluxe, Target, Walmart, Barnes. Oh my gosh, it's seven. One, two, three, four, five, no, six. Oh, I don't have regular, of course. I'm way too bougie for regular. Deluxe, Target, Walmart, Barnes, UK. Yeah, six. Um, Apart from that, I have three copies of Hollow,
Okay.
three copies of Summer in the City by Alex Astor as well. And I think Dorothy Must Die. I've got two versions of that, but everything else, I think I'm okay.
Yeah.
But now I've gotten to be such a big fan of Alex Astor that anytime she releases something, she's got a genius marketing team. I don't know if you've seen, but
Mhm.
each one of her books now has multiple versions. So I need them all.
That's how they catch you.
They're smart, genius.
This one has sprayed edges, but has the character in the paper
Yeah.
in
This one is slightly
so
colored differently.
yeah,
It's different.
you get two extra chapters if you buy this one.
Yes.
That's how they
Yeah,
get you.
it's genius. I won't do that for my book, but hey, good on them. It at the end of the day, they want to sell books. And this is clearly working. It's a great strategy. Good for them. I can't knock them. down. I just hope they don't do it too much.
Right.
If every single author released 4 or 5 versions, that would be very tough.
Yeah, pick and choose. And then yeah,
Yeah.
other people being like, I'm gonna grab all four and just like
Yeah.
good on you.
Yeah.
So
So
with the second book, I don't know if you have an idea on how the cover is gonna look like. Are you gonna keep with the same theme of the pendant or is it focused on something else?
so I'm going to keep the same theme on the cover. I want them to match. That stuff bugs me. If it doesn't match, I will throw a fit. But I don't think it will be the pendant. It will be another magical item.
Right.
I might keep the Emerald City in the background and just have the item different. I'm not sure yet, but it will definitely be in this style. I know that for a fact. Um, or I keep the pendant, change the background, but the pendant maybe gets a bit more worn. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm getting to that stage soon where I'm going to want Tokororo art to come up with something while I
Yeah.
write the second book, just to so people know that something's coming.
Hmm.
But it is for sure going to stay in that style. Absolutely. I like the discreet look of it. If you're an Oz fan, you know right away. If you're not, it doesn't scream Wizard of Oz. I like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, he did a really good job. So I'm excited to see what that other cover would look like. But I will reveal that on Book Talk as soon as I can.
Awesome. So if you would have a audiobook um
Yeah.
produced, is there a narrator that comes to mind that you want to narrate Dorothy, any other characters? Or would it be someone locally, like indie, someone from booktok or from TikTok or
I, I,
anything?
I, you know what? Because I'm indie, I think I would feel very strongly about getting someone indie.
Mhm.
Um, obviously this is expensive, so I'm
Right.
open to just getting one person to narrate the full thing. But I would love to get a graphic audio, kind of like the Red Rising one, where the music's in the background. You're almost watching a movie, but listening.
Hmm.
That would be incredible. As for actual people, I really like Priscilla's voice, our mutual friend Priscilla. I think she would
Yeah,
be phenomenal as Eliza. Even though
mhm.
she doesn't think so, I think she would be.
You
And
would.
there is a TikToker called Book Villainess, um, who has a very mysterious voice. I think would do great as the narrator of the story itself. So there are options. I haven't dove in too much into it,
Hmm.
but I definitely want to. I think it's fun. I think audiobooks are becoming more and more popular. And people are really starting to realize that listening to books is the same thing as reading. You're still consuming that story.
Yeah.
So I want to I want to be in there. I want to hear my story read to me.
It's I've become more of a immersive reader than
Yeah.
just reading. It's very difficult for me to get through a book. If I do, it takes me probably like a month and a half to read that book because I'm such a slow reader. But
Yeah. You mean you don't read more than 50 books a month?
jeez,
I
I don't know
can't.
how. No, no. I'm still working on haunting Adeline, and
Oh, okay. What do you think?
it is hunting. Haunting was it was something.
Yeah. I heard hunting is even more or something.
Yeah, it delves into more things that'll make you. It made me very angry. First part because it's broken up in two parts. First part, I was like extremely angry because I felt for the character. I felt
Yeah.
for both main characters. So I'm on the second part, and I think it's going to be more heavy emotionally than what has happened so far. Because
Okay.
now it's with the two main characters, and it's going to be more of what that one person went through while the other one was looking, searching for that person.
Cool.
It's
Okay.
yeah.
And it's
So it's
a
gonna be
duology, right?
it's a duology,
Okay.
haunting and hunting.
It's
And
definitely on my TBR. I'm excited to read it. There's so
so
many others that are, yeah. I keep hearing amazing things. That and why am I blanking on the name? Starts with an A. Alchemized.
I've been hearing a lot about Alchemize.
Did you see the size?
Yes, I don't want no.
Stressful.
I just doing this stick book is good enough for me.
Yeah.
But I it's like Stephen King's It. I'm like, I'm not reading 1,000 pages of I would rather
No.
watch the movie.
At this point, I even found the movie, because there's two, right? Movies,
Yeah.
very long. I can't imagine reading that in book format. It's probably fantastic though,
Yeah,
but that's a huge undertaking. I've always thought, is it that serious though? Does it need to be that big?
it doesn't. And
That's what I
I've
thought.
starting yeah, I started noticing with his writing. So with Salem's Lot, he has chapters and he has sub chapters of chapters in the chapters.
Yep.
So some of the stuff doesn't need to be there. It's just him writing. He writes like 6, 7 pages a day, which I'm like, all right, that makes the most sense because he's pushing out all these books every
Yes.
other week. So some of the stuff is just filler stuff, and it doesn't need to be there. The only two books I got through was Fairy Tale and Holly. And
How was Fairy Tale? I own that one.
oh,
It's like
that
behind
was the
me.
book. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was the book that got me back into reading.
Oh, really? Oh, that's a good
Yeah.
thing.
So it's a fantasy horror. It's about this kid who loses his mother due a due to a drunk driver driving across the bridge and hits his mother and she passes away. She went to get like dinner for them. He grows up with a drunk father and ends up hanging out with his friend who goes over to next door's neighbor. Guy's a grumpy guy. He has an older dog, and he messes something up, and now he's helping him around to pay back for what he did, and also he helps him because the guy has a heart attack. Takes him to the hospital, brings him back, and then he passes away. But the guy leaves him his house and his dog. So there he goes to the shed, and then there's this thing covered with planks and newspapers. He moves out of the way, and it's a tunnel to a different world.
Hey, I can see the cover. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you see the cover, it's him with the guy's dog going down the
Shit.
tunnel to a different world.
And it's good. It's very good, I'm assuming.
It's very good. It does have some parts that are like, "Can we just get through this chapter already? Let's keep
Yeah.
going." But once you push through it, it's a good story. It's very fantasy horror. Um,
600 pages.
yeah, that's probably my
Ye-
max.
Can you guess as to why I even looked at this book for the first time? There was a reason that made my eyes go to it. I don't know if you'll be able to guess. Do you?
Is it the thing that looks like kind of like an eye, or I don't
No, but close. So when I looked at this, well, number one, fairy tale, I was like, ooh, which fairy tale? This reminded me of the yellow brick road in the movie. So I thought maybe
know.
this was something related to Oz. Boy, was I wrong. But like that's all I see, the road going around.
Hmm. I see that now. I never
Oz
thought of
obsessed. See,
that.
that's what you get.
Yeah.
But I need to get to it at some point.
Yeah, it's a very good read. I wouldn't say it's 10 star, maybe a 7, 7.5, because it's
Okay.
taxing. There are some boring parts into it, but once you stick with it and just go through it, it is. it gets better like three-quarters into the book. I mean, the first it's
Does he
just
write in a complicated way? I've never actually read anything by him.
no, he does not. He uses a lot of filler with
Oh,
him.
yeah, like description.
Yeah, I've never been into. I started reading fantasy because of Fourth Wing,
Yeah.
and world building for me is very difficult for me to get through.
Yes.
So I had to like stick with it, and once I get into it, like I'm in fully invested.
Right.
But yeah, he uses a lot of descriptive words. Its chapters are fairly short. There are some long chapters, but with him, probably like maybe 5 pages, if that.
Oh, that's not too bad. I
Yeah,
noticed that his chapters, he doesn't start on a new page.
no.
Very old school.
Hmm. But that one's a
Huh.
good read. It's a good
Yeah.
read.
They didn't turn this into a movie or anything, right?
They were going to turn it into a movie
Oh,
at
yeah?
some point, and then I don't know what happened because usually his books turns into a movie.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'll watch the movie. But no, I do wanna get into some of his stuff. It makes sense.
So, last question before we end this. I've always ended with this question. You probably heard it before, but crack spine or no crack spine?
For me,
Yeah,
it doesn't bother me either way, but no crack spine. Like I don't,
yeah,
but I've seen some people who do it, but doesn't bother me. I wouldn't do it.
yeah. No,
Do you? What about you?
no, I do not. They're like I take care of them like they were my babies.
Yeah.
Like I cracked a spine one time and I felt so awful because now it has a crease in the back. Like
Yes.
this book is very hard to hold open and it's thick.
Yeah.
I'm like curling the pages. I don't care about curled pages as much.
Right. Oh yeah, because some I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely won't be cracking pages. They do need to look good on my shelf.
Yeah.
They're so expensive that I want to keep them in good quality.
Mhm. My wife, she cracks them, dog's ears pages, folds them.
My dad folds. That I would not do. Oh, no. That affects me more than the spine, honestly.
Folding pages just to
Yeah.
hold the spot.
Yeah.
That's why it's
So no, I
bookmarks,
won't
I
be doing
think.
that. Yeah. We need the pretty books. We're going to pay for them. They need to stay pretty.
Exactly. But thank you for joining. This was really fun.
Thank you
And
for
if you
having
want
me.
to, definitely, if you want to put out your TikTok handle, where they can find you, and
Yeah.
again, the date when it's going to be dropped, and where they could actually get the book.
Yeah. So this is my book, Galeborn. It comes out on June 29th. So this is release month. It is currently available for pre-order on Amazon if you want the ebook. It's available on my website for a signed paperback. All of that information is on my TikTok. My TikTok, the handle is Dan Filion Fantasy, all together. It's also available Barnes and Noble in the US. It started popping up in random countries, which is pretty cool. But all of this, the base is my TikTok. That's my pride and joy. You can find me there. I would love it if you could come and follow me, send me a DM. And yeah, I'm excited for everybody to read it.
Yeah.
Really, really am.
Please follow him and please get his book. You will not be disappointed.